Thunderstruck went boom over the top.
What a week. What a week. Testing. Just kidding. All right. No Baden this week, obviously. So he's in Vietnam, living the dream.
Oh, mate, the things I'd be doing to be in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Hope he's enjoying himself.
I think he is. He had a wedding, so
That's awesome.
all forgiven.
Missing a good time of footy, but
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep it short and sweet this week because I'm not as privy to the AFL as Bados is and Lox is, so it makes it a little bit harder for me. But welcome back. Another week, short week. We'll keep it short.
we'll try keep it short.
Try to keep it short. It never really works out that way, though, does it?
No, a couple of things to recap. Gather rounds over.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool, eh? That was
an interesting one. I didn't get to watch too many games, but couple of standouts. The Hawks lost.
Yeah, devastating.
That was unfortunate. You got to have a loss, though. You can't go undefeated the whole year.
No.
Lions had a huge comeback again.
I don't know how they do it every time.
It's like they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what it reminds me of? The Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, because they were on the three-peat, and to me, when they were just leaving it to the very last minute to win the game by
how much
a field goal or whatever, it was more fun for them probably.
A game like game of chess for them in a way.
Yeah, just like let's see how far we can get down and come back.
How far can we let it go?
Yeah, maybe.
It feels like it sometimes, eh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Eric kicked a few.
Eric kicked 5, which is massive, eh? So,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good comeback. I seen a photo at halftime. Must have got a rinsing from Fagan.
Yeah.
That looked pretty good. It worked.
Yeah, well, he kicked 5 in the one half.
Did he?
Yeah.
There you go. On the comeback.
Got to be pretty happy with that. So shout out to old Eric there.
Well done, mate.
That's pretty good. Is that a market like on Sportsbet? What's the kick? I know there's kick 2 goals, 3 goals.
I think Tobes put a multi and I think he had 6 or 9.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I've seen Hagen kicked 9. I reckon you can bet on it. I think once you get to about 6, it must be paying good odds.
Yeah.
Surely
you could pick someone every week and just put them to get 6 goals and just hope for the best.
Well, as far as I know, it doesn't happen as much as it used to. Like, I used to be able to, like, every now and then you'd see someone kick like 10 or 11 in a game. But I think like 4 or 5 is pretty big now. Yeah. So that's good.
Well, I remember Jimmy telling me, because the whole Buddy Franklin kicking 1,000 goals.
Yep.
He was like, that'll never happen again because, you know, it used to be, like you say, someone kicked 10, maybe Buddy was kicking 5 a game for a whole season or something like that.
Because what they changed, and correct me if I'm wrong here, fellas, I might be wrong, but I think it's 6-6-6 now.
What do you mean 6-6-6?
So like you got to have 6 at the attacking, 6 in the middle, 6 defenders.
Yeah. Where
back then I think it was a bit more scrambled, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And a bit more free-flowing too.
Yeah, so that's changed who's going to get all the goals sort of thing. Yeah, right.
Definitely. Or how easy it is to get it to like one person, for example.
Yeah,
I think there's like a bit more people that might be
like
one player or something.
Ah, right.
I think. We'll soon find out. But I'm pretty sure, I definitely know they like had a regulation change with how many people you can have in each quarter or zone.
Yeah, that was cool. I do remember watching that live.
That's one of the biggest sporting moments, I reckon.
When everyone went onto the field, and then did you remember the 2 Swannies players that ended outside the ground?
Yeah, couldn't get back in. Shit.
That's wild.
Crazy. It was almost like the other week, the bit off topic, but South Australia, the Redbacks, they won their first the first like national comp in the Sheffield cricket, and the whole field just stampeded.
Really?
Very similar situation, hey. And like there was like 2 or 3 security guards there at the game. They had no chance. It was I think it was like at least 20 or 30 years since they won the comp.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. They beat Queensland too.
Yeah, devastating. Queensland's not doing too good these days. No. Maybe the Phins.
There's only one thing we need to win though, and that's in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, the Origin. Is it only a few weeks?
I think it's less than 5-6 weeks away, I reckon.
Yeah, right. Okay.
We're pretty close. We're underdogs again.
Yeah.
I think it's $2.25 when I last checked.
Yeah.
And Blues are $1.65, which I think is a bit too far.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Maybe when Baden's back, that'll be something we can do like a who we think is going to make the team.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yep. Or some smokies and whatnot, because there's definitely a couple of players I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Max Plath is banging on the door. He's got to get in. Josh King.
Yeah.
I think he's New South Wales.
Lucky Galvin.
Don't pick him. Galvin, the hottest topic in league at the moment.
Yeah. Far out.
Man. Pretty hectic, eh?
Yeah.
To go over that. We'll jump to that. Mm-hmm. We'll leave the AFL at that. Shout out the Lions.
Yeah, anything else?
Yes, there is. Mm-hmm. Top of the ladder. Lions, Suns.
Yep. Hawks.
Mate, I think Hawks might be 4th. I think Collingwood's 3rd.
No way.
Maybe.
There's your box trifecta.
Mate, Quaddy.
You got the quaddy on.
More importantly, the Suns and the Lions are the only undefeated teams. The two Queensland teams.
Wow.
There you go.
The bet that you said at the beginning of the year, I said it last week.
Yep.
Suns to get over 10 wins. That was at like $2.
Look at like top 4 at this point. That'd have been a big bet.
That's wild.
Not even in my wildest dreams would I think of looking at it. So there you go. And
then you were saying that probably pretty soon on the time, it is Collingwood versus Lions tonight.
Yeah, that's 7:30 to start the week. That's a red hot game. So
would that go game of the round, you reckon?
It's up there because another big rivalry is Monday's game. Geelong and Hawks. That'll be pretty big.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yep. And there's a couple more games that are interesting during the week, but they're probably the two big ones, the first and the last again.
True.
And I reckon the Hawks will need a big bounce back after last week, so Geelong's in form.
Mm-hmm.
It's a top 8 game, almost top 4 team, so definitely worth a watch on Monday.
True. Who did the Hawks lose to?
Port Adelaide of all teams.
Oh, there we go.
Grudge match.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of heat in it, hey.
Yeah.
A lot of things said after the game. Rioli got in a bit of trouble. He just kept going off on social media, talking so much crap about the Hawks.
Really?
About how like they did his uncle dirty and his brother. I think they even did him dirty. But he was like done for drugs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah.
They stood by him for a little bit and then shoved him off to Port.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, bit of beef there, eh?
Was that the part of the racism thing that I saw on
it would have been.
Yeah, because
ties into that.
Yeah, right.
So, because his uncle might be cousin is Cyril Rioli. He's a big name in the club and rah. I mean, nothing came from that scandal anyway, so who really knows? But it's been a little thing around Hawks for a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, even on that like racism card, not talking about it, but the Jonathan Thurston and Spencer Leniu,
yeah,
that was a bit hot topic, and then Galvin's just taken over that whole thing. But
NRL moves on quickly, hey.
Yeah.
Like, it was only a couple of weeks ago, Cherry was in the limelight, and everyone's basically forgotten about that, you know? And that's what the first thing I'll say is that's what I reckon Benji's done on purpose, is dropped him for that, just to try and cool the heat off and get the emotion out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of the big thing people forget is the bro's 19 too.
Yeah.
Now he's got Luai and he's got Taruva posting on their social medias and stuff. It's a lot.
Yeah. And
the poor bugger just wants to play footy probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a tough one, hey, like.
But hey, if you want the big money, this is what comes with it. You know what I mean? If you want to...
Do you reckon he's worth it? Like, I know that they said the Tigers offered him $6 million over 5 years.
Yeah, a lot of smart men do. But I don't know. He has it, I guess. Like he's very involved in the game and he tries hard and he's got a lot of potential. But it's a lot of money to be given a kid, you know?
That early.
Crazy money. It's like, I don't
know.
Especially
if it's a 5-year contract, you know, you take your foot off the pedal. Like he's probably been trying so hard to make the NRL and then like, you know, now make the high-paying contract. Once he's got that, he can kind of slow down and maybe he'll have a bit of a decrease in his performance or something like that as well. Like you got to take that into account when you're 19. Yeah,
it's just hard to say. And like, where you're going to go to, like that'll be another thing we'll go over a bit later, but I just don't really understand what they were like trying to achieve out of all this. Apparently, like he spoke to his manager, which I can go over to. His manager's a bit of a grub. Like that's the guy who I said a few weeks ago that the Roosters won't deal with. If that's your manager, they won't sign you.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. The way this has gone.
Yeah, well, it goes back to he does it with all of his players and all the clubs that he's involved with. Like, he's very controlling as a manager. Gets his players in and then like talks a lot of crap and tries to get him out early.
Yeah, right.
Goes all the way back to Bateman. So the week before, if you want to go back on the manager, he sort of blew up when he took over Bateman when the Raiders made the final.
Yeah.
He became his manager that week. And that's when the rumbling started that he wasn't happy with the coach. That's his first instance of him being a bit of a grubby manager. And then you see what happened after that. The Raiders basically dropped off for a few years and there's a few rumblings there.
Yeah.
A couple of other players. Another big one, the reason why the Chooks won't deal with him is Suwali. He managed Suwali. Suwali was at the Rabbits, and the big thing is if you're at Rabbits or the Chooks, you don't really go to the other team. It's the big rivalry. Ends up saying that he wanted all the opt-out clauses in his contract every year that he can get out of the contract. And Wayne legit just laughed at him and said, I'm not doing that. And that's why he went to the Chooks. And then after the Chooks signed him, they ripped him over to rugby union.
Yeah.
And Nick Politis didn't like that at all, so he banned any players that are signed by him to go to him.
Fair enough.
And he's got like heaps of, like all the Fainu brothers
Yeah, right. So he's got a fair few under him.
Yeah, he's got heaps of players under him. And it's always the struggling clubs too, because they've got to sign him for heaps, and then after a year or two, they're trying to pull him out. There's disruptions in the team.
Yeah, right. Okay.
He's Mitchell Moses' cousin.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's how he's getting. That's why it's a big link going to the Eels.
Yeah.
You know,
would he fit in at the Eels?
Well, funnily enough, out of all the teams he could go to, Moses is probably the best half he could go and partner up with.
Yeah, because they're losing Dylan Brown.
And like, I just think he's a good match with him. Like, you look at the other teams they're trying to go, mention, for example, the Dogs.
Yeah.
You've got Burton there. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? Try push Burton to the centres. You've got, Cherry and...
yeah, okay.
Who's their other centre? You know what I mean? Like, there's not
Here we go. This is the conspiracy theory then. Moses has come to his cousin, dude, who's going to replace Dylan Brown? I need someone. And then he's gone, these is who I manage. Yeah. Who do you want?
Well, there's a few options.
I want Galvin.
Yeah, Galvin would be sweet.
There you go. That's what he's done. And
it would surprise me. I wouldn't mind him going to the Eels. It's probably a good fit. Mm-hmm. Attacking footy with Moses.
Yeah. Because he wants to be the man. I've seen it a few posts, and he's like, he wants to be the man. Like, you're going to not be the man when Moses is there. He's going to be the man. Yeah. Because Luai obviously stepped up, and he's the man now. To be honest, I haven't liked it, Taruva and Luai's posts on social media. Like, I know it was meant to be, I think Taruva's was meant to be to his close friends, and it got leaked.
It's a bit...
It makes it look like it's a bullying club.
Let's just go back no more than 6 months ago. Did they not leave the Panthers to sign at the Tigers for a bit of money?
Yeah.
Not the reason they did that?
Yeah, better money, obviously, for sure. They had done a lot with the Panthers. I kind of see like the side where Galvin's kind of come up the ranks in the Tigers and stuff, and, give a bit of loyalty.
But ultimately speaking, is that not what Galvin wants to do anyway? He wants to go and, challenge himself and be better?
Yeah, but then I did also, see what happens. He's got 18 months left on his contract, so see what happens there, whether he even sticks that out. But then I did see in his post that he made, he's like, I wanted to give the Tigers 18 months to basically look for someone because I'm not going back there.
Well, again, I don't know. And because how it all came out, he spoke to his dad, he spoke to his manager about how they want to do it. And then he says, in my best interest, I want them to move forward. Did they not see what happened to Cherry 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah.
It's just a bit weird to me.
It's all social media.
No, the way I see it, it's the manager.
Yeah.
Because he knew what was going to happen. It would get in the media, there'd be all this backlash, and what ultimately will happen is I guarantee in a couple of weeks' time he'll be released because the RL Rugby League Player Association will get involved. They'll use all these social media posts to claim it as bullying. Yeah. And then he'll have to get an early release.
It does make it look toxic what they did, and it's not really.
And I know it's footy.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's a job, right? Let's just say it's any other job. Mm-hmm. You rock up to work and you got other colleagues posting about you and making fun of you and shit. It's going to go to HR and there's going to be trouble, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ultimately, that's what it's like.
I'm sure they've got a HR department. Each team would have to.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sign me up for that job.
And then what will happen is they're going to end up having to be like, well, I've now got, mental issues because I've been bullied and I want to get out of here. And then he'll be released by the end of the year.
Yep.
And ultimately, I reckon that was the play from the start.
Yeah.
Because as a dad and a manager, what did you think would have happened? Everyone's going to be like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And ultimately what happened, I think, was Tuesday when he came to training. Benji asked, hey, do you want to speak to the team? Apparently he said, yeah. Went in, spoke to him, just said, hey, guys, you do you, I'll do me. And apparently went down real bad, eh?
Really?
Yeah, apparently went down, not good.
Respect the hustle. Good on him.
Yeah, good on him for going in, but
shit.
Probably not the right thing to say in a team sport.
Nah. I saw a thing about his salary, the thing with the Tigers that are going to struggle, he's only on 250 or 350,000 a year.
Yep.
Say he leaves, it doesn't really free up any salary cap, and he's a quality player. Well,
what they'll do, they'll just they'll put Finu back in, the other young gun that they had.
Yeah.
He'll just slot into 6. But that's what I like with Benji. If Benji consistently keeps him out of the team, I don't mind that. It's if you're not buying into what we're trying to do, you may as well stuff off anyway.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that.
Put your effort into the guys who want to be here. So I don't mind that. But it makes Monday interesting.
Yeah.
I think they've got the Eels of all teams.
Yeah.
So
that's in me 3-2-1s.
Is it? Yeah. That's now become a real spicy game now. Yeah. The Tigers will be up and about now, I reckon. See if they've got that camaraderie behind them. So, yeah.
It's a big talking point. I don't know. You don't want it to like create precedent for...
The part that I, like, just before, if we do move on, like, I don't understand how at 19 you're turning down $5 or $6 million contract.
Yeah.
You must really hate the place.
Yeah.
Or...
It makes the Tigers look bad.
Or you've already got something that you know you're going to.
Yeah. Something else sorted out.
Like, how do you turn down $6 million at 19 years of age?
Yep.
Like, explain that to me.
Yep. You know, crazy if it turns out, bites him in the butt and someone offers him like, oh yeah, we'll give you 3 years and give you 1.5 over 3, and that's the only offer he gets.
And it's even weirder because, like, ultimately, right, why does he want to leave? He doesn't like Benji's coaching, the progression. If you're going to go to the Eels, how are you going to tell me you're going to progress there? I know you got the Moses situation, but you can't tell me under Rolls, rookie coach, and the team that's probably sliding down the worst. Like, I don't know. That's the part that I don't understand.
Like, Tigers look good. Eels don't.
Do. Yeah, that's what I mean. One team's going like that, one's going like that.
Yeah.
And like ultimately, is there any better coach out there than Benji to monitor him, mentor him?
No.
Like, Benji was young when he came through, won the premiership young.
Yep.
Benji's put his neck on the line playing him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Didn't have to play an 18-year-old last year. And another thing that annoys me too is like, you can and shout out to Luai here because like you can actually see he's trying to play like a halfback. And Galvin's playing like how Luai would play at Panthers.
Yep.
Like runs around, plays both sides, off the cuff stuff.
Yep.
And Luai's tried to be like no more attack. It's just all we're going here. We're gonna kick over here. Real manager doesn't run the ball anymore. Doesn't look a threat.
Yep.
Put his ego aside for this kid, and now he's just like nah. So it's a bit sad in that respect.
Yeah, definitely. It's a touchy subject for sure. It'll be
but ultimately, I get it. Like I remember it was like round 23 or 24 last year. He walked out after the game in the sheds and said, "Fuck, I can't wait to get out of this club."
Yeah,
like
I did.
Remember that?
He's been a while.
Like it's been a little while.
Yeah.
It's been in the cooker. So
yeah,
bit of a rough one.
But Tigers definitely look better than the Eels for sure. So who knows why he'd be looking at that?
That's why I can't work it out.
Yeah. What about salary cap? So Eels would be freeing up because of Dylan, obviously.
Yeah.
Where else could you see him going? Anywhere else?
Well, to mix a bit of news into this as well, I've seen that Fogarty's going to extend with the Raiders now.
Yeah.
Manly could be an option. Again, his manager's got players there. He's got relationship with Manly, so I don't hate that. Chuck him in with Brooksy.
What about Bronx? For Adam Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because Adam Reynolds is...
But they've got a lot to juggle already.
Yeah, you got Ben Hunt.
You got that. You got Stagg still to sign. Cobbo still to sign. Ben and Reynolds, you got to try fit in.
Yeah.
You guys always got a forward or two. I don't know if they got money for that.
Yeah. Yeah, he won't
Phins wouldn't bother because they've put all their money into Katoa and they need someone to mentor him. So many options.
Yeah, no, not really. And it's made it just a big kerfuffle. It looks messy.
I wonder, how long's Munster got on that contract?
Oh, who knows? Nah, no way.
What about Panthers?
Panthers is a maybe. Imagine
Nothing's working at the moment. We're going to talk about that soon, but it's not like Blazer's setting the house on fire. Cole, he's all right, but you got Galvin who you could sign.
That's true.
I'm sure they've got money. They had a few players leave.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be funny as. I'd like that. That'd be a good move.
I don't think Oranga's ever played for Panthers. No, for real.
Oh, the Ranga curse,
Nigel Plum would probably be the ugliest player they've had, but he was a skinhead. But I don't think Ranga's ever played for the Panthers. We'll look into that team.
Yeah. We'll find out that stat.
Maybe.
Put that on the bingo card.
I don't know where else you'd go. I mean, I'm looking around. I mean, obviously the Dogs with Gus.
Yeah.
But again, we were speaking about this before. I don't know how he fits into the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because you got Birdo at 6, and again, if you're going to sub him out, I can't remember the other centre, but Sherry, I just don't think he fits that dynamic. So I don't know.
Yeah, tough one. Very tough one.
Good luck to him.
Good luck to him.
Good luck in the Magpies this week too.
Yep.
Must be playing for them.
Yeah, he'll be pretty disappointed on that. Panthers, lots of trouble.
Yeah. I wonder what they are for the spoon at the start of the year. And I know it won't happen.
Oh my God.
But it does at this very point, it doesn't look impossible.
It doesn't. Oh my God.
They look really bad.
They don't look good at all.
Like they look so lost, and was like, I think all it comes down to is just those connections, because there's just nothing there.
Yeah. Like when last year or the last 3 or 4 years, they just knew where to be. And like even, I think it was Cleary put a big, long, wide ball out to the wing. I think it was Elamotti or whatever wasn't there.
Yeah.
And like normally.
Threw it straight out. Yeah. Like just a few things like, and then even on Cleary, like one of the tries they scored towards the end when could have been Lemu got the offload or someone, Josh Kerr maybe. The offload was against Cleary and Yo. I haven't seen that in 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's effort. I don't know if they're just cooked. Bro, I'm honestly starting to think something might have happened to Vegas. Like, how? Their game...
What happened at Vegas? Just know. Like a bit of a...
Something within the team has happened. Maybe like something's had to happen.
Yeah, right.
They looked great in Vegas.
Yeah. What's happened?
Like, and it just...
Or has everyone just figured them out?
But what, everyone?
Yeah, has everyone figured them out?
Like, that's the part I don't get.
Yeah, if they've lost 2 or 3, it's like...
And it's not like they're getting... Well, they end up getting flogged by the Phins. Like, this is the game that made me go, oh, yeah, there's real big trouble. Because every other game you can kind of excuse, you know? They're still scoring, it's still kind of working, it's just their defence. But nah, it looks real bad, eh?
Yeah.
I can't work it out. I watched every moment of the game and I was like, it's just connections.
Yeah. Just not working.
And it's almost like these younger guys, the McLeans, the Blaze, and all those sort of guys, it's just like, I don't want to call them out. I don't know if they just don't want to work hard, or I don't know if they just don't want to put their body on the line. Like McLean, I think, or Casey McLean, he missed a heap of tackles, like 2 or 3 tries in. I don't know.
Has there been any changing to the coaching stuff? Obviously, Ivan's still there, but...
Yeah. Well, Trent Barrett came up to... Oh, well, who's the Eels? Sorry. What am I talking about? No, not as far as I can tell. But again, it's like... I just keep coming back to Vegas because that game, they were fine.
Yeah.
They were even almost as good as they were the year before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh, here we go again. Who's the teams that are going to try and go with them?
Yeah.
They just came back and it was just trash from the moment they kicked the ball in Australia. Your favourite stat, they still haven't... I don't even think they've won a half in Australia.
That would be crazy.
I'll look into that.
That would be crazy. But yeah, still, Kitty's shout, they have not won a game of footy in Australia this year.
Even if you told someone that...
How did they look in pre-season?
Fine. They barely had a game. They didn't do much pre-season. They played like 1 trial and 2 hit-out matches against local clubs.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. Look how they played in Vegas. Like, they were ready to go.
Interesting.
Can't work it out. That's why I just keep coming back to something happened in Vegas.
Who have they got this week?
I don't know. Should we pull it up? I haven't actually looked at the games too much. Let's have a look. Well, before we go through the games this week, we're going to go through last week's play of the round as well. But
Bronxton looked good. I was at the game. They looked all right, but they didn't look that great either. So that wasn't very exciting. Raiders look good. Cowboys look good. I thought they were 2 pretty... Yeah,
the Cows are on the climb.
Yeah.
Big time. It's a funny thing, rugby league, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was only after round 4, most pressured coach would have been old Toddy Payton.
Yeah.
And now he's probably the most safest. You know what I mean? It's funny how it goes. But what else stood out last week? The Knights, gee, they're bad.
Yeah. So there was a stat Adam was telling me.
Yep.
They've gotten 8 tries in their last 5 games.
Did I think this year they've scored 60 points?
That's
this
not
year.
Good. That's not good. And Pong is still a lock for Queensland fullback.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's a lock at this point. I don't know. Storm,
they look good as per usual.
The only thing, one of 2 things, right? So, a couple of their first halves this year have probably been the most unstoppable football I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, they don't do a thing. I think they lost the second half.
Yeah, I think they'd probably just take the foot off.
Yeah, they would. Yeah. But it's not something, I don't know, it's just something that you don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
And I get it, like they take some players off and they'd probably try some different things, but yeah, probably don't want to be doing that for too much longer. I want to see them doing an 80-minute performance, hey?
Yeah.
And I know they're versing these other teams that they're not worried about.
Well, they got Phins this week, which they have said they're quite worried about.
Ritzy will be there, so look out for Ritzy.
Yeah, he'll be on the screen. So that's actually probably the lock of the bet for the week would be a streaker at the Storm Phins game because Loxy will be doing it.
I'll be looking for someone.
Yeah.
I'll be looking. And then What else was on here that I noticed?
Phins, good. Cows.
I think I also wanted, and I know poor Bronx copped it, but how come the Roosters keep beating all the good teams?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you. It's definitely not Tedesco. I'll
It's
tell you
weird.
that much.
Like the Bronx, Panthers. Well, looking back now, it's probably not the big thing versus Panthers, but like I don't know, they pull a rabbit out every now and then.
Yeah, who are the Roosters playing this week? I was looking at that. They had a good game.
I got a stat coming up for that too. It's the Panthers again. How's that linked up?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Because that's the same. They played Bronx first round, and now they've played Bronx last round.
Dude, there's been a couple of weird. Like the draw's weird this year. If you have a look, I think Raiders, and who would be other team? I think it's the Sharks. Bro, they've gone from like Vegas to Sydney, Darwin, down here, around here. I've seen this little photo of it on Facebook, and like they've gone all over the place.
Yeah, right. Getting the frequent flyer points up.
Well, it's going to catch up to them soon. Yeah, it was the Raiders, and I'm pretty sure it was
Sharks.
Who versus Manly
this week?
Yeah,
that's on tonight. Dragons.
No, it wouldn't be Dragons then. I'll have a look. But
that'll be a good game. I reckon the Dragons might do it.
No, I think. Well, by the time the listeners hear it tomorrow, I'm going Sea Eagles 13+.
Yeah.
Olakwatu.
Okay.
And Lehigh for a try. I think the Birds will fly high tonight.
Yeah, right. Okay.
They're due a win.
Far out. I better change my tips now. Game starts
You're
shortly.
saying that the Titans have probably played the Dragons into form. And that was a good little ritzy stat, that one. Unfortunate. It's not looking too good this week either for the ritzy stats. The Titans versus Raiders is a cracker.
Yeah.
We'll go through them shortly. But yeah, anything else for this week?
No. I don't know if this is something. This would be something you'd be like, oh, this has been in the works for ages. The NRL PNG thing. So obviously PNG's looking at they're going to get a team
2028.
2028.
Yeah, they come in the year of the new broadcast deal, 2028. Yep.
So then the NRL has just come out with a new rule for PNG feeder clubs, basically. Okay. So if you are a PNG player making up the ranks in PNG, each team is allowed 2 players that do not affect your salary cap.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is pretty good because they said there was another thing under it that was like the, maybe it was in the juniors or the 7s or 9s. I've completely got no idea. But PNG was in the final with Australia and did pretty well.
True. Okay.
So, like, they've got to have some good players over there. Who gets first pick?
Yeah, well, I suppose whoever's got the best scouts start looking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it doesn't affect your salary cap at all.
Like it's a bit weird that. Because, like, what if you get a bloody Nathan Cleary?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Like, I don't know how
for
that's
free.
Going. It's getting a bit weird. It'll be weird because even in the PNG team, so if you sign for PNG, you get a special allowance. Just came to my mind before. Either you're getting tax-free on your salary or you get some extra bonus for signing with them. Hey, I don't know. I'm a bit sus on it.
Like the PNG team or the PNG national team?
The NRL team that's coming in.
Right.
Yeah, so to incentivise good players to go play with them, they're getting all these extra bonuses. So I don't know how I feel about that. Dolphins didn't get it. Titans didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it's PNG, but like if they're not going to attract players, why did you... And I know ultimately we put him in the league because of politics, but it's just like...
Yeah, how far away is the flight?
I don't know. Can't say I've gone to PNG.
Will they have a stadium? Like,
I don't know how they're going to even do that because, like, safety. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even like, safety, but a stadium, if they don't have one, then they've got to build one.
They've got a stadium because when we go and play the Prime Minister's 13 over there, they do it there. But, like, I don't know. They might even just set up in North Queensland maybe, but I'm sure they'd end up having to fly over there. It's just weird. I don't know why they did it. It'd be interesting to see if it's a shorter flight than WA though. Yeah,
just give us a WA team.
Yeah, be so much more realistic. I don't know why they don't do that.
Yeah. Whatever, politics, man, I got no idea.
Yeah, again, politics. Everything's politics now. What happened to sports being sport?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And social media's taken over as well. So what do you reckon of the Jonathan Thurston Spencer thing?
Bit of a blow up, I reckon.
Bit of a blow up for no reason.
Yeah. Well, I kind of get it.
I get his side, and I also get... I did see someone say that, like, Jonathan, obviously, all over whatever he was, interviews and stuff like that, saying, you know, you shouldn't be doing that, it's racist, da-da-da, fine. But then Ezra Mam has his accident and Jonathan Thurston has nothing to say about that.
Yeah, and I get that. But, like, ultimately what the scenario was is Lenu doesn't like JT because of what JT said about him in that situation.
Yeah.
JT works for Nine. He wanted to get Lenu's comments. Lenu just said, I'm not talking to you. I don't like you. And then walks away.
Yeah.
And then JT presses again and then even tries to come into and walks into the sheds.
Yeah.
And has to talk to Teddy and Robbo.
Yeah.
So.
Goes crying to his dad.
Yeah.
Like,
and ultimately it's just like, I don't know.
If he didn't want to interview,
don't do it. If a guy doesn't like me, why are you trying to interview him anyway?
Yeah.
And then you say it's your job. It's like, go interview any other 16 players that were there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
reckon
like,
Thurston was trying to rile him up, I reckon.
Yeah,
like,
a bit of a media beat up.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit, I found it rude. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah.
And I thought Lenu actually played pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? Like, he could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Like, he gave Staggs a belting, but he didn't hit him in the head.
No, but Staggs gave...
He started it.
He started it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that sort of thing. I thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't think he came on in the second half. I was watching the game because I was waiting for it after that little ending of the first half, and I don't think he came back on.
Yeah, right.
That's one thing I noticed in that game.
No, they didn't need him.
They don't need him with that halfback, man. His kicking game is crazy.
Yeah, they're playing better.
They're coming along.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that will be a bit surprised. I've still got a couple of players to come back too. Angus has got to find form. Walker's got to come back in. Cheese has got to come back in.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
I like Walker as well. I do, but I don't know when he's due back. It's not for a while, I don't think.
Yeah, and I don't know why you'd push him. It's normally, so when the Chooks do it, it's normally a 9-month recovery. But for their juniors, they make him do 12 on purpose.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be, well, I think they're trying to rush him back, but I think Sam wants to take longer off just to make sure. Take long, as long as you need. Tino took a bit longer.
Yeah.
You'd rather be safer than sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
You got your whole career ahead of you. His next salary, or he's got to re-sign with the Chooks anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, you got a couple of years till Cherry gives up his origin spot, which you've got to fight Fogarty for.
Yep.
So...
Fogarty's still looking real good though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying. Like, the Canberra team's underrated. Your Tarpanese, your Hudson Youngs, they're fast in the backs.
Yep.
Jamal kicks them out of trouble. Good team.
Adam had a real good bet on that game.
Yep.
Oh, wait, was it that game? Who'd they play? Was it Eels?
Yeah, they flogged them.
Yeah. So Adam, $10 into 1,600.
Beautiful.
4 try scorers.
Yep.
Dylan Brown.
Yep. Chris.
Strange.
Oh, Ethan, yep.
Yeah.
That was his first try this season.
Yeah. And then Timoko.
Yep.
And then all he needed was Iongi.
Yeah, right.
And he had a whole half and didn't get it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, the Eels, they're the only ones keeping Adam O'Brien in a job, hey? Like, I just don't understand how, like, you get up for the Dragons game, you play really well, you win in overtime, and everyone's up and about, and then you just go to Darwin and you don't look interested at all.
Yeah.
Dylan Brown goes from like 23 runs to 4. Like, what?
They've lost it.
Just like that. It's just like, I don't know.
There's a few teams like that this year, though, that are like putting a good game of footy on the next week, putting a terrible...
At least the Knights are consistently trash.
And the Panthers.
Yeah, at least they're consistent at that. And the Storm are consistently good.
Yeah. Because same with Titans, like they'll put a real good game together.
Dude, it's just stupid.
What is going on?
Yeah, see, as a Titans fan, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Everyone else can probably start wigging out.
Yeah.
For me, it's just another day in the jungle.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Bronx will have Warriors this week. That'll be hopefully a smoking, but I'm not too confident. But
well, we may as well go over that real quick.
Yep.
Because I've got some pretty interesting stats, and there's some cracking games. Easter weekend footy, it's always a blast. There's no better feeling than knowing that you've got from Thursday to Monday for footy.
Yeah.
So much opportunity to lose money.
I love it.
So good.
Gamble responsibly.
Nah, rip in.
Not today.
Nah, not this weekend. Anyway, before we get there, one of the favourite parts of the week, player of the week.
Yep. Eric Hipwood for the NRL.
Oh, yeah. Should have actually chucked him in.
Yeah.
Bit of a tricky week, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Xavier Coates. I brought the stats this week because everyone probably forgets by the time we put up the pod what they did. Xavier had 1 try assist, 2 tries, ran for 230 metres and had 4 tackle breaks. Purdue, my mate from Cowboys.
Yep.
2 tries and a line break.
Yep.
Hudson Young.
Again.
Dude, it's hard not to put him in. 2 tries, a try assist, 20 tackles, 14 runs, 156 metres. Like, the man's a machine, dude.
Yeah.
And then I really like this guy, Josh King.
Yeah.
So he got a try, 13 runs for 117 metres.
He's the Storm, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Storm lock.
Yep.
And I can't understand my writing. That's embarrassing. He's done something else down here too. He's done something, but he's in there.
He's in there.
He's in there. I'm just locking in Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson again. Back-to-back weeks.
He's just on fire.
It would be him or Coates, but Coates, you're on the wing. You're expected to maybe get over the line a bit, but...
Yeah, but he's just doing it well.
Yeah.
He's probably the first pick for Queensland this year. That's actually what I did want to say about him. I've always sort of hated Coates, especially like...
He looks real good in the air this year.
Yeah,
he does every year, but he looks real good in the air.
He looks really good. He gets them down, but he's just like those run meters, 230 meters. He just starts their set so well.
Yeah,
which was something that he wasn't always good at. I remember even at the Bronx, he was a bit shy. He used to always go backwards with contact. Like 230 is huge for him.
Yeah.
So shout out the old Xavier.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. And then this week's ridiculous ritzy stats.
Here we go.
There's a couple of rippers, boys. We'll start. I'll try get them in order. Phins at Suncorp are currently 8 straight wins against non-Queensland teams.
Whoa.
And I think even you saw a bit of news this week. The Storm are saying they're going to be a big matchup.
Yeah, they've said that this will be their biggest test of the year so far.
Love it.
Which is cool.
They'll really get up for it. So hopefully that's a cracking game. You want to block your ears for the next one?
Here we go.
Broncos are 3-8 in away games in the last 8. And I'm not going to try his last name, but mate Ali in the centres is 3 tries in his last 2 games at Mount Smart Stadium.
Dangerous.
So he'll be going in. Mine's even worse. Raiders versus Titans. Raiders have won the last 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
Seb Chris has scored in the last 4 games straight.
Against Titans or this year?
Against the Titans.
Because he's already got a few this year under his belt anyway.
Yeah, and he usually scores first try too.
Just needs a haircut.
Yeah. I think he's a Queenslander.
Okay, keep your hair then.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah, keep scoring tries.
Yeah.
Edwards, 5 tries in a row against the Chooks.
Yep.
And then the Rabbits. See, this one's a smoky, and I don't know if it's going to go as good as the last couple of roughies we've picked.
Yeah.
Rabbits are 6 straight on Good Friday games.
Crazy.
Tass is on the wing. Scored 2 tries in his last 2 games on the wing.
Ooh.
And a great one, probably the start of the week, Trell Fit is 8 from 8 in his last 8 games against the Dogs.
There we go. That'll be a cracking game.
I think the Rabbits are about 3. They're either 350 or
350.
They're 350.
Yep.
So
and you said there's going to be a lot of people there. 70,000.
70,000. Yeah. So I got a bit of story behind that too, actually, because this is a shout out. Love what the Doggies are doing. They're really good with like a family club. Now what they've done is for the top row of the stadium, all the nosebleeds, brought 10,000 tickets, gave them all to the members who couldn't afford to go to the game.
Perfect.
Boom. That's how you do it.
That's all you want to hear.
Yep. The memberships are through the roof. They're booming.
Yep.
They're on top of the ladder.
They're playing well.
It's a smart move.
Yep.
Very smart business move.
Yep.
They'll make that back within like 5 minutes at the stadium anyway, merch.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Love it. And Burton's back this week.
Very well done.
Yep. So that'll be a good game. Jai Gray, Connor Tracy. That's my...
Just a team of hard work, like hard workers. Kurt Mann, Tracy. Eve, I don't even like him, but Salmon's going well at lock.
Yep.
Just the names you don't expect. It's not Burton. It's not Kickow. It's not Critter. It's all these little guys that just put their hand up every week and just rip in.
So that's the type of team that's got good chemistry or good team environment.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what you want.
From the top down.
Yeah.
Gussie, good coach.
Yeah,
good
he'd be a hoot, I reckon, eh?
Yeah.
You'd hate to be on the end of a spray, but he'd be a hoot.
I can get spit going, real red face. Just wouldn't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
I always because I'm watching like a lot of the not highlights, the rewatches of the Origin games. geez, he was a sour bastard in the Origin, eh? Like, I don't even know how he did commentary.
Really?
It's so biased and sour for the Blues. Every time he speaks, it's like, reminding me of a young fella just going, shut up, Gus.
Yeah.
But I do miss Gussie at Origin at the start when he's standing on the post doing the pre-game, eh? That was iconic.
That was iconic. We did love that.
That was good.
All right. Well, finishing off just a couple of...
No, there's a shout-out.
Shout-out?
For every Australian around. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
Oh, there you go. There's one.
Yep, that was something that I wanted to mention from last week as well. The big dog got up.
Yep, very good.
Awesome
and then
to see.
Gout, that was pretty incredible what he's been doing.
And even Lockie's time was huge.
Yeah.
He ran another cracking race.
Lockie Kennedy. So it was wind assisted. I think all the races were wind assisted.
Okay.
So they're not legal times.
And did the girls do something as well? I feel like something popped up on my phone about 3 girls might have done something.
Not sure.
It was females. We don't really
haven't followed that one.
Follow the female sports.
Gout getting under 10 seconds wind assisted and then under 20 seconds wind assisted for the 100 and 200, which is cool. Either way, 17 years old. You know, the Olympics is his to lose, basically.
It's insane.
Yeah, which is real cool.
It's actually crazy. And another Aussie shout out, because it might have even been last week, but Josh Giddey's halfway shot in the NBA. That was sick. So the Australians doing things, that's for sure.
Yeah, there was a stat about Josh Giddey, actually, that I have no idea about, and I'm not even going to try and guess what it was. But like,
we're all about true facts here at PTP.
Yeah, but he's something to do with his triple doubles or double doubles. Like he's third for the season out of everyone or something.
True.
I don't know. Something.
So he's
something
working
like that.
hard.
Yeah, doing well. And I think I've put a bet on a couple of times, and he doesn't get as much game time as some of the other players.
True.
Yeah, or maybe it's changed.
Maybe he's not doing the cardio.
Yeah.
Come on, Giddey.
Yeah, get into a Giddey.
Come on. Thursday night footy.
I
haven't done my multi. It starts in 7 minutes. Holy moly. All right. I just have to go first. I don't even think we've got a caller this week.
No, we don't. We'll figure that out.
This is a full raw dog.
Yep.
All right. Stressful times, man. I need a point.
Yeah. Just no one got any points last week.
Yeah, it's
tough.
It's been a big week.
Yeah.
All right.
I blame the election.
Keep the faith. $2.10.
Yep.
Bulldogs, Storm, and Sharks.
Win.
Yep. $1.30, $1.33, $1.22. If that doesn't hit, God.
Dangerous.
My $5 is $6.85.
Give it to you.
Out of the ritzy ridiculous stats, I've taken the 3 teams at the line. Dolphins plus 13.5. Rabbitohs plus 10.5. Raiders minus 3.5. $6.85.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that.
Same. Shout out the stats. We're going to stick with the stats for the try scorers.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys. We'll give it a go, hey. Ali Liatua for the Warriors. Dylan Edwards for the Panthers. Sebastian Chris for the Raiders. $15, 26 odds. Gamble responsibly. Have a great weekend.
That easy. And then Baden has called in from Vietnam, so I'll play that one.
Ni hao.
Baden, coming from Vietnam land. Sipping on a tiger, eating banh mi's. It's been nice. Nice and sweet and short. I'll start off with the $2 1 point. This one's definitely hitting. First leg's a 3-legger. Randwick race 4. Lilac. J-Mac goes on board. I watched it last week or the week before. It's going to do good. Just chuck the place on in the multi. I'm having a cheeky each way on it as well. We're going to Freo to beat Melbourne. In Melbourne, that'll happen. And the Sharkies to get over Knights at old McDonald Jones Stadium, hopefully. They get over him. That's a bit of an iffy, but that gets you $2.47. And then me $5. I've been sticking with the crop of A&S Friedman stable this probably the last 3 months. Greenfly, number 12, Tommy Berry's on board. There's not a lot of speed from the inside barriers. It'll hopefully come across and sit midfield. He's an off midfield type, but he probably needs to be a little bit more forward, it being Randwick. I think it's going to be a little bit soft. Hopefully they don't get too much rain. It might get upgraded to a good 4. He loves the second up and the distance. Drops the weight. As I said before, I love the stable. It's an each way for me, but that's paying $6 to win. $2.35 place as well if you're keen. Hopefully this next one, as I say, I do throw a few Hail Marys in my time, but this one's not as big a Hail Mary. It's probably a half fielder rather than a full fielder. Hopefully it doesn't rub salt into the wounds that it created a couple of weeks ago when I've talked the jockey up and she decided to do me in and ride behind bums the whole way. But Chewing Gum, race 6, number 6. Curry's on it. The Hayes are pretty keen. If it gets the right race, it wins. Simple as that. Map's a bit better from the outside this time. It won't get stuck in behind bums on the inside. If it follows Rockin' at Midnight with the early speed, could be sitting up on pace, too wide, come around the bend. If it gets the room to power to the finish line, it's not losing. Take the place as well, boys. Enjoy the week away from me. Missing yous. Sayonara.
Oh, Bados, mate.
I hope he's enjoying himself.
He definitely
If
is.
you haven't been to Vietnam, you definitely want to get there. It's a great place.
Sounds like he's enjoying himself.
Coconut coffees to die for.
All right. And then 3, 2, 1. So Tigers versus Parramatta Eels. Parramatta Eels are $2.15 to win. That's my $2.
Perfect.
My $5, sticking with what I know, Brizzy Broncos as per usual. Reece Walsh, Shibasaki, and Brizzy to win gets you $5.34. Bang, bang.
Like it.
Shibasaki, he's good. I like him.
Oh, Shib is underrated.
Yeah.
He'll be up there. I'll try to do a segment too to keep this short of the top 10 power rankings of the new signings this year. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, that's fair. And then my $10 is going to be the Bulldogs and Rabbits game because I reckon that's pretty close to being game of the round. That'll be a bit of a grudgy.
Perfect.
Connor Tracy, Jai Gray, and then Bulldogs to win. Get you $11. So that's
fine.
That easy. A bit of a fullback
special.
Fullback special, maybe.
Don't mind that at all.
Yeah. I've seen a few games. I've actually noticed a few times this year where it's like both fullbacks score like a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have noticed it.
Okay. Something to keep an eye out.
That easy.
Tell you who scores a lot is the Raiders' bloody second rowers. Far out.
Yep. Hudson Young will get over again.
Yeah, he'll be back for play of the round next week, or he'll be injured after we just jinxed him.
Yeah, there's no way. Let me, that's done there. Cool.
Perfect.
That's the other bet that I want to put on. I haven't done. I said I wanted to. The 3 people to combine for 2. The Pappenhausen, Munster, and Jerome Hughes. That wouldn't have hit last week, but I wonder versing the Phins, it's possible.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a sign up.
Yeah. But that's it. Lock and load. Footy's about to start. Pizza's here.
Yep.
Go the Lions.
Go the Lions and go the Phins tomorrow.
Yep.
And go the Titans to break the streak.
Break the streak. That easy.
Fantastic. Thanks for listening all.
Yep. See you next week. Short and sweet. And gamble responsibly. Or don't.